Chapter 1. The boy who asked too many questions. In the quiet village of nestled at the foot of a great mountain lived a boy named Rafi. He was curious, adventurous, and had more questions than anyone could answer. Why does the sun rise behind the mountain? Where do birds go at night? Can a mountain walk if it wants to? Most villagers smiled at his questions. Others just shook their heads. Mountains don't move, Rafi, said his mother. Unless, Rafi whispered, they're just waiting for the right reason. Chapter 2. The whisper on the wind. One night, as Rafi sat under a tree staring up at the great mountain, he heard a low rumble. Not thunder, not wind. A voice. I am tired, it groaned. Tired of being climbed on, dug into, ignored. I am more than just a pile of rocks. Rafi jumped to his feet. Who said that? The mountain shimmered slightly in the moonlight. I did. Rafi blinked. The mountain had spoken. You can talk. Only to those who listen, it replied. Chapter 3. The Lonely Mountain. The mountain introduced itself as Baram, and it was older than any book or legend. He had watched villages rise and fall, trees grow tall, rivers change course. But no one ever asks me how I feel, Baram said. They take my stones, cut my trees, and never say thank you. Rafi sat quietly. I'm sorry, he said. Maybe they just forgot that mountains can feel too. The mountain was silent for a moment. You're the first human to speak kindly to me in 100 years. Then Baram sighed. I've decided to leave. I'll find a place where no one can hurt me again. Chapter 4. The village endangered. The next morning, Rafi noticed something strange. The earth trembled slightly. Trees along the base of the mountain leaned. Rocks tumbled. Baram was shifting. Rafi ran to the village square. The mountain is going to move, he shouted. We have to stop hurting it. The villagers laughed at first. Mountains don't move, Rafi. But then the ground rumbled harder. A landslide narrowly missed the river bridge. The village elder, wise and wrinkled, looked up at the mountain with concern. Perhaps we have forgotten something important. Chapter 5. A deal with the mountain that night. Rafi climbed halfway up the mountain to speak with Baram again. Please, he said, don't leave. The village will be destroyed. The river will flood. The forest will fall, Baram grumbled. And what will change if I stay? Rafi thought hard. We'll protect your trees. We'll only take what we need. And I'll make sure no one forgets that you are alive. You were born. Yes, Rafi said firmly. Because it starts with one person. And I'll make them listen. Baram was quiet. Then he rumbled gently this time. I will give you 3 days. Show me you're serious. Chapter 6. The promise tree. Rafi called a meeting in the village square. This time, more people listened. If we want the mountain to stay, we must make a promise, he said. Not just words, but action. He planted a small sapling at the edge of the village. This is the promise tree, he said. We will care for it together as a sign of respect to the mountain. The villagers, moved by Rafi's courage and the growing tremors, began to help. They cleaned up the riverside. They stopped cutting trees carelessly. Children brought water to the sapling every day. On the 3rd night, Rafi returned to Baram. Chapter 7. The heart of the mountain. Baram's voice was softer now. I see you tried. He opened a path inside himself, a glowing cave filled with crystals, echoes, and the quiet hum of ancient energy. Few are allowed here, he said. You have earned my trust. Rafi walked into the heart of the mountain. He placed a stone from the riverbed near the crystals. A piece of us, he said, to live with you. Baram smiled a deep, echoing rumble. And a piece of me will live in your village. Chapter 8. The mountain stays. The next day, the tremors stopped. The trees stood tall again. Birds returned, and the mountain Baram stood still. The villagers gathered around the promise tree, which had already grown taller than expected. It's a miracle, someone said. No, said Rafi, smiling. It's respect. From that day on, every child in Shalper learned the story of Baram and the boy who listened. And every year, they planted a new tree for the mountain. Moral of the story: Even the quietest things can feel. Respect the world, and it will care for you in return. One voice can start a change. Listening is sometimes more powerful than speaking.